One of the top recruits in the class of 2026, Christian Collins, the 6'8" small forward out of California, St. John Bosco High School, has honestly blown up, right? Kind of an under the radar recruit who wasn't getting much shine. Now finds himself as a certified top five prospect, certified top 10 prospect amongst most recruiting services. 6'8", ultra athleticism, a lot of different ways to score. And there's a certain players at the high school level who you just look at and you're like, you can see why NBA teams see that player and they're like, okay, let me just go ahead and get him to the NBA as quickly as I can because that guy is going to be really good. And it's also why some of the best schools in the country are in the services for Christian Collins. Now, we've done a couple videos on him. Just very impressive game, honestly. Like everything about him, the extreme long arms, highly competitive, also getting better, I think, day by day. Like last summer after his sophomore year and during his sophomore year, he was relatively unknown. Like he was ranked among some services, but he completely blew up. And I think it's warranted because the kid can really play and has really amazing tools, I think. Now, because of that, there are a lot of schools that are in on him, right? He is currently or just recently played in the Pangos camp, I think out in California, was one of the better players out there. He was actually reportedly under the weather and still putting up crazy stats in those games. So that's even more impressive. And I also think it speaks to who Christian Collins is. He's a kid who is going to compete at a high level. One of my favorite videos of him was he did like a little mic'd up thing. And Dion, you know how we hate mic'd up players sometimes. Like they get on the mic and they're like, they start acting out of character for no reason. Christian Collins is not one of those kids. Now, he's had a large number of schools on him, but specifically Kentucky, Duke, and Michigan are some of the big interest schools for him right now. Obviously, Kentucky was very big on him, and also his teammate in high school. I believe he plays with Brandon McCoy, who was actually out injured, but another really fun prospect in the class of 2026. Obviously, Duke, Brotherhood, they're going to be on him. Michigan also involved with him as well. So Dusty May getting involved with these top prospects. Dion, I'll throw it to you. What do you think about Christian Collins, and also what do you take from these schools that have interest in him?
He plays with somebody else too. It's McCoy and it's Ariza's kid. It's Tosh,
So I don't know if Taj. I think Taj transferred there. So this season it's going to be
his friend.
Taj, McCoy, and Collins on the same team. I think.
Gotcha.
Which
Either
I
way,
need. Which I need. Who's the governor? Is it Newsom?
yeah, that's news.
Yeah, step in. Step in. Step in. That's crazy. We're just that no way. No way no way I am at some public school or something. I just had a tough day, had a pop quiz in history, and then you're throwing those three at me to hoop against. Crazy.
Yeah, no, that's how people wind up just being upset at life is they had to play against those three at one point and they wake up in their 40s, they have to go to their 9 to 5 and they remember the moment they played against those three. And that's why there's managers everywhere that are just waiting for one of their staffs just to yell at them because they know that like something happened in the past. But I love his game. I didn't know he was sick at Pangos.
Yeah, so he had an interview with I don't want to mispronounce his name, but the guy who like runs it, Dinos. I think it's Dinos like Trigios. I think I'm sorry. I know I butchered your last name, but he was talking to him after the camp and said he was actually under the weather.
Damn. I watched a live stream of one of those like scrimmages they ran at Pangos,
You're a
and he
sicko, but I love it so much.
I'm locked in on all of this. Like nothing gets past me. But he, I mean, he could really hoop, and it's different watching it from like a even though it's a scrimmage, like you can kind of see what he does off ball versus in the highlights, you're just watching like his best moments. And I'm not gonna lie, like I didn't watch a single St. John Bosco game last year, so I really only watched his highlights. But getting to see him in game, what he does off ball, both offensively and defensively, how engaged he stays in the game and quite frankly, how versatile he is, which brings me to like my next point, his Twitter bio. 6'8" versatile student athlete, no GPA in his bio. This dude knows exactly who he is. He knows exactly who he is, and he's not hiding away from it.
This video is brought to you by NBA 2KLab.com. 2K Lab worked with us last summer as well. They're one of our favorite entities in all of sports gaming. We want to show you their college basketball stadium locator challenge game. And I'm going to share a screen right now as we do this. South Carolina, bang. Oh,
Ooh,
okay, that's pretty good. Next, North Carolina. Why are we only getting the Carolinas?
please
Bang.
lock in.
St. John's. That's New
New
York.
York.
Bang.
Where's New Jersey?
We're on fire. Colorado. I actually don't know what state Colorado is.
It's it's in Colorado. There's a state of
Is that
Colorado.
this one?
It's to the right of Phoenix.
Anyway, you get the picture. This game's really fun. They've got more games as well, like Guess the NBA Player, Mystery Fantasy Draft, and more. Stay tuned for all of the college football content and games that they'll be putting together to help you get the best experience out of college football 26. Back to the video.
Yeah, we never been more here. And you know what? There was a portion of me. So I had this issue when not even an issue, but like I will fall in love with high school prospects, and I just like everything about their game at the college level and even moving on. But back in the day, not even back in the day that much, but he gives me the vibes of what like Peyton Watson started to do at the end of his career in high school, and how he just like ascended up, and now. Peyton Watson didn't necessarily have the best year at UCLA. Now he's in the NBA, kind of like trying to find his footing and like carving out like a small role with the Nuggets in certain spots. But I think Christian Collins is kind of in just in that same mold, just like 6'8", extremely long arms, plays both ends of the floor, has the mid range, can get to the hoop, athleticism, everything is there, and in between the ears, like I think, like you mentioned, he's a kid who is gonna play the right way and take the right approach to the game. Are there any schools on here that stick out to you just like I guess is this like it's is it interesting seeing Michigan on this list amongst the other like Kentuckys and Dukes of the world?
No, but yes. Just because I don't think we're used to seeing it, right? Especially like minus.
Hey, hold on now. Respect my dog Juwan. He had a couple here or there.
Well, I was gonna say minus like the Juwan era, but like those were his kids. So I
A couple
mean,
other ones. Please respect my dog, like I said.
yeah. But I when you talk about how much money Michigan spends, right? Like they spent the most money in the portal, it feels like, or if they didn't spend the most, they were top five. I mean, G always says like how rich they are. I think they're just taking that money and they're like, we'll put it into high school prospects too. And so I think it's just the next evolution of Dusty May spending his money. So it's not that surprising when you break it down like that, but obviously it's surprising because we're not necessarily used to it. But I think we should get used to seeing Michigan on lists just like this. I don't think he's going there though. Like I said, his bio didn't mention his GPA. I don't think wherever he goes, it's not going to be based upon academics. This dude's trying to get to the league as soon as possible. Um, you know what AAU team he plays on? Does he play for the Compton Magic or
No, I think he plays EYBL. Why not?
why not?
Yeah.
Russ's team?
Yeah.
I guess he could go anywhere then, because why not?
Uh,
But
I'm about to end this video. So that is crazy work.
I was
And more so crazy because I'm sick I didn't do it.
I was gonna say he could go to if he played Soldiers with Tyron because I think Tyron Stokes is like that feels like he's leaning Kentucky, and
Mm.
I thought maybe you get the team up of Tyron, Collins, and McCoy at Kentucky. You still might get that, but I think wherever he goes, we'll have some link to Brandon McCoy. Like I think it'll be whoever's in on both of them. Maybe they don't wind up getting both of them, but I think the two of them going through this recruitment process together, and then now you factor in Taj or Ariza. I think wherever they go is going to be some team that was in on all three of them and built that relationship with everybody.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very intriguing to see kind of what he does. And sorry, in the background, I was looking up some new Christian Collins highlights of him at like the little NBA Futures thing. This kid is just like I know I was like high on him. He's one of them ones. He's
He's
disgusting.
he's disgusting. So is McCoy. So is
Yeah.
Taj Ariza. And they all kind of play the same position in a weird way too.
Yeah, if St. John's Bosco loses the game next season, I'm gonna have to ask some questions. I think I might want their coach fired immediately, but it'll be interesting to see how it works out. Obviously, Christian Collins has, he hasn't set a decision date or anything like that. He obviously talked about the contact that he's had with those schools, but it'll be interesting to see kind of where he ends up. For some reason, I want to say that right now. I think Mark Pope pulls us off. I think Mark Pope somehow finds a way to pull this off, and make this happen. And maybe it's even a situation where he gets him and Brandon McCoy, which that'd be something massive for Mark Pope. But we will be tapped into Christian Collins. Obviously, big fans of him here on this podcast. So we'll see how the rest of his recruitment kind of takes his path.